when you are dating someone, do you start to question if you are good enough for them? Do you start to ask yourself questions like when y'all go out and maybe they don't compliment you, or maybe you feel like they're not looking at you with those like googly eyes or whatever? Do you start to think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have worn this outfit? Oh, maybe I should have fixed my hair another way. Oh, maybe they're not feeling me tonight. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where I encourage women to be the best version of themselves through healing and avoiding certain pitfalls in dating. And today's episode is brought to you by my book series, Single Woman Chronicles, an Atlanta love story, kinda, part 1 and part 2. And if you are out here in these ghetto dating Atlanta streets, you already know what it is. But it's a fiction, and it is about a young lady named Ariana who is 28, beautiful, successful, but she can find everything but a man. And of course, as soon as her ex dumps her and she meets somebody else, that little alarm goes off in his head. And he's like, let me ruin her peace. So he texts her out the blue, trying to get back with her. But she done already met this man named Mo. But is Mo who he says he is? Or is he an F-boy? Who knows? You won't know until you get the book. So you can get it right now on Audible, Books on Google Play. And it's free, the first one on Books on Google Play. You can get it on Apple Books as well. And I think I said Amazon. Oh, Barnes & Noble. That's what I'm missing. All right. So today's topic is take him off that pedestal, honey. Okay? I feel like women, we unconsciously put men on a pedestal, especially when you've been single for a long time. And especially when you really want a relationship, you really want marriage, you put that man on his pedestal. And he needs to get up off of it because no. Like, no. And I came to this revelation over the weekend because I had a situation to happen, and I had been going out with someone, and we got into a little rift. And honestly, it was so small and it just really could have been avoided. But I feel like it kind of got blown out of proportion. But I noticed that I was like super focused on appeasing the situation by like, what can I do for him? Like, how can I alleviate this stress and this drama for him? And it was in that moment that I had a revelation because I was texting my homegirl about it. And she was like, girl, we all human. He's human too. We make mistakes. Like, let it go. And it was at that moment I'm like, girl, why you be putting these men on these pedestals? And I feel like that's why women, when we are dating, many times we're so focused on, okay, how can I be right? How can I be perfect? How can I be everything? And we're not even paying attention to the fact that he needs to be doing the same for us. Like, he needs to be moving forward like you're moving forward as well. So take that man off that pedestal. It will alleviate so much anxiety, so much stress, so much like of that voice in your head telling you that you need to be better at this, that, and the other. Like, come on, take him off that pedestal. And another thing I wanted to talk about, can we stop listening to these relationship coaches about the rules to dating and the rules to this and that? Y'all, ain't no rules for real. Like, I feel like if you cannot be yourself in dating, then you don't need to be dating nobody. Because if you're trying to appease someone and adjust, like, that's a whole different ball game. It's a difference between, like, say this person likes a particular thing and you're trying to learn how to, I wouldn't say love them, because when you're initially dating, love isn't a factor just yet. But like when you're trying to learn what they like and what they don't like, right? So if this particular person, I'm trying to think of an example. If this particular person, if their love language is quality time and acts of service, instead of giving them words of affirmation all the time, instead you do something nice for them. You give them quality time. You show up for them, like you're in their presence, right? So I feel like that's one thing. But when you're trying to become a whole nother person to appease somebody, baby, it ain't never gonna work. I had a blog called I Found Love But I Lost Myself. And I don't remember if I still have it up. I think I may have taken it down. But that's like such a trend. So many times we're so focused on trying to win the person that we lose ourselves in the process. And I feel like many of us do it, and we're not trying to do it, but we're just like, especially if you're a person with a good heart and you're a person that really just likes peace and you don't really like to ruffle any feathers, any conflict. If you're a people pleaser, listen, you can end up doing this, and you want to avoid doing this. So the best way to avoid doing this is to respect the boundaries you have within yourself. Like, you can't uphold boundaries with other people until you respect the boundaries you have for yourself. You see what I mean? Because how are you implementing your own boundaries when nobody's watching? Okay? Because, like, for example, I always use fitness because it's just easier. It's a low-hanging fruit. So, for example, if you are at the gym and you are by yourself and you have 12 reps, 3 sets, right? Are you going to uphold the boundary and the standard you have when nobody's watching and do those 12 reps and 3 sets? Or are you going to be like, you know what? Don't nobody know. I'm going to just do 8, or I'm going to just do 2 sets instead. Like, no, you have to learn to uphold it. You know, for me, just like not having sex and holding that boundary, oh my God. The challenge, okay? It is a challenge. You know what I mean? Like, celibacy, that is a challenge. That is a boundary I have for myself. Another boundary that is really hard, not dating men that I wouldn't marry. And I'm going to tell you why this is hard. It's hard because it's easier when you get lonely. When you get that feeling where you're like, bruh, I've been doing this for so long. I've been looking for this person. These low-hanging fruit is out here. These cuties out here who want to take you out and hang out every here and there, but they don't want nothing serious. I can truly get with that until I find my dude. But you will find yourself in a situationship that you'll have to get over in order to be free for that future person. So you'll just save yourself time, energy, and emotion by just not doing it. So that's another boundary that you have to set for yourself. It is just very, very disrespectful. So it's easier to set boundaries with other people and actually hold those boundaries up if you are holding the boundaries up for yourself. Okay? And in that goes back to taking these men off this pedestal. Now, I have told y'all time and time again what my therapist told me. Because I literally, she plays in my brain over and over again when I get into certain situations that trigger me and trigger my abandonment issues and make me feel like less than. Her voice plays into my head. Her voice, when she said, why do you lose your worth in relationships, that plays in my head. So I always have to ask myself, like, when you are dating someone, do you start to question if you are good enough for them? Do you start to ask yourself questions like when y'all go out and maybe they don't compliment you, or maybe, you know, you feel like they're not looking at you with those like googly eyes or whatever? Do you start to think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have worn this outfit. Oh, maybe I should have fixed my hair another way. Oh, maybe they're not feeling me tonight. If you've had those thoughts, then you may be battling with that, putting that dude on that pedestal versus keeping yourself up there. Because both of y'all on the pedestal, okay? That's how you have to think. That's how you have to get in your mind. But another thing you have to do is get out of that lack mindset. I believe women have been manipulated, especially women in Atlanta. We have been manipulated into having a lack mindset when it comes to dating. And this lack mindset came from this whole belief that there's 11 women to one man. And then those men be gay, so it's like 20 to 1. And it's stupid, and it's not even true. Because someone actually looked at the statistics and the census, and that wasn't even true. It was like even, basically. So we have been brainwashed into thinking there is a lack. So when you are brainwashed into thinking that, then of course you're going to date with a lack mindset. You need to stop dating with a lack mindset. When you date with a lack mindset, you cling to things that are not good for you for way too long. You stay because you're thinking, if I give this up, then how long is it going to be before I meet someone? Will I ever meet someone again? And blah, 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 blah. I know because I've done it. Okay. Like, I was the poster child for the lack mindset in dating. But I had to switch my mindset and just be like, man, listen, what Gucci Man said, Deacon Gucci said something about when you miss one bus, another one coming. That's how you have to think. Because if you think about it, men don't think in lack mindset at all when it comes to dating. Because most of the time, when you dating a dude and it's just like a situationship or like a talking stage, if y'all end on Friday, he got another girl by Saturday. Like, that's how you have to think. And I'm not saying to like, because I know for me, I be needing a break. Like, if a dude stress me out, I need about a week, a month. You know, I need to recuperate because I'm tired. Y'all getting on my nerves. I can't do it. I can't just jump back out there. Like, I be like, I need a break. I'm on break. Like, we close. We on a break. We from this time to this time, we on a break. I get that. But the goal is just like to have this abundance mindset where if that didn't work, God has better. And I'm going to meet somebody. I've already also shared with y'all how in the past I used to always say out loud, I used to say like, oh, it takes me forever to connect with someone. I only connect with people once a year. I had to stop saying that. And when I stopped saying that, I started connecting with people more because I wasn't putting that in the atmosphere. I wasn't speaking those things because we already know it's life and death and the power of our tongue. So I'm all over the place today, but because I ain't really got no points. But I do know that these are the things and the reasons why you will put a man on a pedestal. Because you feel like, okay, I have to fight for this. Even if it ain't fighting for me. Let me tell you something. If that dude ain't fighting traffic for me, I ain't fighting for him either. Like, if he can't, like, I can't do it. Because we're going to be in it by ourselves. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. It has been very hard. Like, I've gone through some situations where, like, I really wanted a person, but they were not reciprocating. So I had to bow out gracefully. And before I developed, like, my abundant mindset, it was painful. And still to this day, even though I know like another person is coming, it still sucks because you just get tired of the disappointment. You get tired of the expectation that you had not being the reality that is presented. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's why I be needing a break in between my little situations that be ending. Because I be like, listen, this happened one more time, I'm done. But it's just about a resilience. Like, you have to get in your mind that this is just a part of the process. And if you scrape your elbow, you just gonna cry it out and get up and keep going. Because, I mean, what else you gonna do? Like, just get a whole bunch of cats and be single forever? No, you're gonna get back out there. You know what I mean? You're gonna get back out there. And even with me having the intuition that I have, having the Holy Spirit and my discernment, having the just eyes to identify, and also the spirit that actually attracts quality people, even I still have to sift through because there are some quality people. Let's talk about this. There are some people who are very quality on paper, but in real life, they's a mess. Okay, they are fun and key, especially in Atlanta. I'm sorry I keep talking about Atlanta, but that's why I stay, and it is very ghetto. But a lot of guys feel like because on paper they look good, that they don't have to work on anything else. Like, they feel as if, okay, I make this amount of money, I go to church, and I'm in therapy, I'm good, I'm perfect. And a lot of the times they don't be. I be wanting to speak to their therapist sometimes because I'm like, you're not therapying. Like, you're not therapying right. You're not psychologying right. Like, you're not doing it right. It's like, I don't know what you, like, why is they this arrogant? They need to be humble. I need to talk to their hey, pastor, is they in the men's groups? Because obviously, no. Because they mean. And they got that ego. They got a big ego, like Beyonce said, and it's not a good thing. I don't. You ain't pastoring right. Like, and I'm just making jokes because it ain't the pastor's fault. It's the person's fault. But I've just noticed that. So like, even though you may have these people who are amazing on paper, when you get to know them, you're like, ooh, look at that red flag. Ooh, look at that red flag. I think I'm gonna have to back out. But it's really tough because it's like, dang, bro, like you met all the other qualifications, but your character funky, and I can't deal with that. Oh my God. And that's another way to help you take people off pedestals, because we really be out here, women, really be out here comparing ourselves to these Instagram models, comparing ourselves to these other women, and feeling like, oh, we're not good enough because maybe his ex looked like this, or he dated this person, or I know he can have any other. So can you. Like, that's how you got to start thinking, like, I can too. Okay, I can too. You gotta have your Lori Harvey mindset. Say what you want about her, but sis, don't let none of that get her down. I don't know what be happening. I don't know who be breaking up with who, but sis ain't letting it get her down. She literally be out here dating what you're supposed to be doing. If one don't work out, you keep going until you find one that does. I mean, like, what else are you supposed to do? Sit around and feel sorry for yourself? No, you are not. Take these men off these pedestals. Put yourself on it. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Like, I just want us to take a mouthful of audacity. Because these men out here, they got the audacity. Oh, that audacity is heavy. I need you to get a dose of that audacity too. Because Lord have mercy. Once we get a dose of that audacity, the world is going to be new. Okay? Okay? But honestly, I just feel like once we take them off this pedestal that we have them on, and I'm not, listen, I am not a man basher, by no means. I'm not saying that some men shouldn't be put on one. I'm just saying, if he on one, you need to be on one too. If he on your level, you need to be on his level too. Like, meaning that don't put nobody above you. Like, don't feel like you have to work harder to receive someone because they're seemingly better than you or they're seemingly too good for you. No, put yourself on the pedestal too. Y'all both human. Y'all both out here dating, looking for things. You bringing stuff to the table. I hate that term, that phrase. He bringing stuff to the table. But don't lose, like my therapist said, don't lose your worth when you're dating. Because even the most confident of people, like, she literally looked me in my face and was like, you are very confident and high in self-worth when you are single. But when you date, you lose it. What is that about? And I'm realizing it is about me putting men on a pedestal. Like, in the past, feeling like I have to go above and beyond to rectify situations. I have to go above and beyond to prove myself, to do X, Y, and Z, because again, I was operating from this lack mindset. I'm feeling like, oh my God, I'm tired of being single. Let me fight for this. And just really just losing it. It's like, for what, bro? No. If you can't accept me as I am, I don't know what to tell you. Now, if there are some things that is like really negatively affecting something that I really need to address, because I know myself so well, if you call it out, I will agree with you. Example, I am a leaper to conclusions. Yes, if you give me a scenario and I ask you about it and you don't tell me the scenario, I'm going to create the story in my head that I believe. And I'm going to believe that story until you prove me different. So yes, I'm a leaper to conclusion. No, sometimes I don't wait and wait for the actual story or no. Sometimes I do leap. I do overreact. I do the most sometimes. I'm not going to lie about that. Now, if you call me out about that, I'm like, you know what? You're right. Okay. I've also been called out by about just being too bossy. If you're like, listen, let me lead, you be doing too much. Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. But what I mean is, don't lose parts of yourself that are key to who you are. Like, if you're an outgoing person, don't lose that. If you're a person that likes to dress up, get cute, get your hair done and all that, and you start dating a dude who's insecure and he's telling you to chill, don't do that. Do not lose your friends for these dudes. Okay? Do not. Women, we got this tendency when we get in these new relationships, we throw our friends to the side, and as soon as things are out that honeymoon stage, you want to pick that phone up and call us again, leave me alone. You better go talk to him. That's your bestie now. that's your bestie now, honey. Now I get it. I give my friends grace because I do understand when you're in this new thing, it's honeymoon stage, you want to like be in bliss with your person. So you just, you want to ride that wave. You want to ride that out. So I'm not going to like I'm not going to be angry at them about that. But like, if you're fully engulfed and basically you forgetting about me, you acting real brand new for like months. Yeah. Ladies, we got to stop doing that. Because dudes don't be losing their friends for us. No, they do not. When it's time for the man's night, fellas night, guys night, they going. So when it's time for girls night, guess what you need to do? Go. You needs to go. Gotta stop doing it. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your friends. Take him off that pedestal. This message is for somebody. Like, somebody needed a sign, and here is the sign. Because you was over here racking your brain about the relationship, and you've been wondering like what you can do to fix it, and how you gonna move differently, and is he gonna talk to you again? Take him off that pedestal. I don't have the time. Like, no, because you're degrading yourself by not seeing that you are just as valuable as he is in this relationship. Y'all are just the same amount of value. Take him off that pedestal. That's the sign. That's what it is. So like, comment, and share, because somebody needs to take him off that pedestal. And that's just what it is. Until next time. Bye.